You are now live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Actors, come one and all. It is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? No, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Oh my gosh, what day are we in? Thursday! Everybody's starting to join. So I want to welcome you guys to the Actors Mark. We are doing, it's a great day today. We're going to do a fun live interview with my commercial agent, Stephany Burns from Avalon Artists Group, which is an amazing commercial agency, and they are super in the know when it comes to commercials, and she's fabulous. She's amazing. I love her, and she's a really great person as well. So I'm going to bring her on in a minute. I'm waving at everybody. Everybody's here, which is awesome, and we'll wait for her to come on, but I just want to talk to you guys. So today we're going to be talking about everything commercial related, right? So this doesn't have to do with theatrical. This is commercially driven. She is the head of commercial talent at Avalon Artists Group, and she's been there for a long time. I don't even have her darn bio on me. Do you have her bio?
I'll get it.
I have it somewhere. She emailed it to me. Anyway, I'm going to post her bio because she's been in this industry a really long time. She is super knowledgeable when it comes to commercials and everything commercial related. She's been working really, closely with all the casting directors, and she's been in the trenches even during COVID. So we're going to talk about how commercials have changed, how going about commercials have changed. Yes, I mean, let me tell you guys, every brand you can think of, from Geico to Verizon to Tide to every car company, every restaurant, every fast food, McDonald's, Burger King, all those commercials. She has
Coca-Cola, Snickers,
Coca-Cola, Snickers, Coors Light, all
Apple.
the beer commercials, Apple. She's done everything. So she's booked people on every brand you can think of. But we're going to talk about, what's going on in the commercial industry. We're also going to open it up to questions so that you guys can go on and put in the comments. So if you go down at the bottom of where you're watching right now and look in the comment section, you can comment on something or ask a question. So that way we can, ask her and utilize our time with her and ask her all kinds of questions. So she's open to answering anything you guys, have to ask. Waving to all of you, and she just joined Avalon, so we're going to bring her on right now. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Miss Stephany Burns from Avalon Artists Group. Looking fabulous. Takes a second. Hi!
We did it! Wait, let me turn my volume up real quick.
Well, you look fabulous.
Well, I know. My husband loves it when I do these because I shower.
And you actually put makeup on, I know.
Today's a showering day.
Always like, we're doing a live today. You need to clean it up.
Get pretty.
I'm like, crap. I
know.
can't wear my hair up in a bun. Now I've found really fun ways of putting the hair in the bun and just still making it try to look sort of halfway good.
Yeah.
How are you? I never talked to you.
I'm crazy today. Today is really amazingly busy. Of course, right? Of course.
And I got that audition. I will confirm that.
I was just gonna say. Of course, I sent you an audition notice right before this.
So today has been really busy.
Yeah, I have my computer actually next to me, and we are rocking and rolling. I mean,
well, that's great.
It's jamming.
So give everybody just a little kind of a brief background on your experience in the commercial industry.
Okay, so I did commercials when I was a little kid. So I was there when I was little.
You know what it's like to be on our side.
But I've been a commercial agent for, I want to say 11 years now.
Okay.
And I've been at Avalon for 8.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? I've been for 8 years. I have about 300 clients. I do commercial print voiceover. Yeah.
That's
union, non-union, adults, humans,
dogs,
aliens,
robots.
whatever.
So what's going on?
Turn the comments back on.
Oh, okay, I know, but if I turn the comments on, I can't see her.
You gotta pull them down, I think.
How do I pull them down? Hold on, sorry.
No, I'm kind of learning this to myself. I
can't
haven't
pull
done a
it.
lot of these,
Otherwise,
so I'm
they get
learning.
questions.
Well, can we pull them back up after, like, oh my God,
They
questions?
can't comment. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, you could turn it off now, and then when they're ready to ask questions, you can turn it
Yeah,
off.
why don't we do that, you guys? We're going to turn off the comments right now, just because I want to see Stephanie's face and I want to talk to her, and I can't do that if the comments are all over her face. It's really a flaw.
Well, and it's hard to follow because it's like if you have ADD, then you're like you get
I know,
distracted.
I'm trying to listen to you, and my eyes are going up and down. How have you been feeling during this whole quarantine?
As
About
a human,
this whole industry, as a human,
as a human, or as an yeah, I'm like as a human or as an agent. As a human, man, roller coaster. I mean, I have good days, I have bad days, like everyone else. I'll even have good half days, and then the rest of the day will suck, or vice versa. It's just, it's been rough. It's been rough. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you know,
and you have kids, right?
I have 2 kids, and they're starting school next week. And
They're going to the school?
no, we're gonna it's homeschool.
Homeschool.
We just went and picked up all their books. And honestly, I don't know how we're gonna do it. I mean, it's literally this. I'm calling this part the what the F part, where we're gonna try to juggle. And I mean, fortunately, I'm good at juggling and multitasking.
Yeah.
But these poor kids, I'm like, ugh, I don't know.
No, I know. It's been a rough couple months.
It's been really rough. And I think now we're just trying to dig ourselves out. And when there was no breakdowns and no bookings and no shoots and no money, obviously really contributed to depression. But now that we have breakdowns again, I feel like I have hope, and I'm excited, and I'm happy, and I'm, you know, I'm negotiating again. And so thank God it's coming back. Thank God.
But what has shifted?
I mean, everything. I mean, it's all different now. I mean, I don't even know where to begin, quite honestly.
So quickly, what was it like before the quarantine for you? Like, as far as your day to day, what you did that interpreted where the business was, and then after.
Okay, so before the pandemic, you know, it was 50 auditions a day at least, and it was in person, you know, calling and you get to your audition. I mean, I remember even talking to you one day. You had 3 in one day, and you're trying to, you know, beg, borrow, and steal.
Trying to get from
point A to point
Santa
B
Monica to downtown LA.
Yes, I know, and I know, I get it. And so, you know, it was a lot of that. And what else was it? I mean, it was just, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it.
It was a normal crazy day.
It was a normal crazy day. It was in person, and people would come into my office face to face. So I saw everybody's faces all the time, signing new clients. You know, not all the time, but I do sign new clients. I take new client meetings during the week. And I go to events, I go to showcases, I do, you know, workshops. I go to, you know, I used to see stand-up shows and go to, you know, anywhere, you know, when IO was still open, I was always there. And now
COVID hit and everything shut down.
Yeah. And then COVID hit, everything shut down, and we all just kind of went,
I mean, for a moment there, I was like, I can breathe for a second. For like a month, I was like, okay, I can breathe. This is like gives me a chance to like kind of regroup, because I was on autopilot. I was just going, and then all of a sudden I went through depression. I was like, this sucks.
I think you're right. I think that a lot of people went through that, especially actors that are extroverts. That first month was like, hell yeah, I'm going to make up TikToks. I'm going to do bread, and this is so fun. And then month 2, you're like, oh my God, I'm going into despair.
I'm dying inside.
I'm dying inside.
But what changed when did the industry start to come back to not normalcy, but at least start back up again? When did that start?
I remember the month of March, April, May, nothing.
Nothing.
And then the middle towards the end of May, when normally it shuts down for the summer, that's when, pilot season used to end.
Yeah.
And
everybody would go on vacation for hiatus.
Totally. And then in the end of May, there was a period of time in those 3 months, at least I was getting renegotiations. Some, not a lot, but not as much as I hoped.
Right. I really thought that was going to be a lot.
Me too. I thought that when COVID hit, it was going to be all renegotiations.
Yeah.
Which is great, right? Yeah. Found money. But it wasn't happening because there was a lot of commercials with crowded scenes, and they couldn't show crowded scenes. Even a scene in a restaurant with 3 people, they couldn't show.
Unbelievable.
So the renewals actually weren't happening as much as we hoped and thought. Fewer. Then at the end of May, I'd get little things here and there, not breakdowns, but emails from casting directors that knew me, commercial directors that knew me, and producers that knew me, and said, hey, do you think your actor would feel comfortable doing this? Right. And so it kind of started this little thing. And June, July was kind of that as well. And then in middle of July, it started the last month has been actually really great. I have to say, I've probably had, 14 new bookings in the last month. Yeah, which is actually not bad considering the situation, and shoots. And I'm like, today, there's like a ton of breakdowns today.
That's really amazing.
Really juicy, good ones.
So now I was telling my actors on a whole other live that I did a while ago that what they see on Casting Network and Casting Frontier and Actors Access is not what you see as an agent.
Correct.
Right? Because that's a public board, and yours is a completely private board. Because people always say, why do I sign with an agent if I can get the breakdowns myself? So you want to answer that? Why do I sign an agent?
Because the breakdowns they get are going to be for roles that are only for people that spin fire, ride unicycles, very specialty. Sometimes real families, things like that. But I'm
a lot of that lately.
I'm going to get the spokesperson on Verizon. You are not.
Exactly. And that's why. I mean, so somebody that is trying to get an agent right now, right? Is it a good time to try to get an agent right now? This is so bizarre.
Now I would say actually yes. The last 4 months, 5 months, my timeline is all over the place. I might be off on my timeline, but the last 4 months, I wasn't signing anybody. I was just banking their emails into a folder because I have to see these people in person. I can't sign somebody. I cannot sign somebody that I see a photo of or watch a reel of. It's like, I need to know your personality and who you are as a person and a human, and not being able to meet in person obviously wasn't happening. So now I'm kind of feeling that I'm okay with meeting with other people if they're okay. We're kind of creeping a little bit. And
yeah, and you meet like at a coffee place or somewhere outside where you
house calls with my actors.
But this is what we have to adapt to right now, because you want to keep the ball rolling and try to keep some normalcy in your life so that you don't start to feel the effects of that. You know?
The only reason why I'm not actually dying to sign new people right now is because of the 300 people that I rep. have been dying for 5 months now. I got to get them out. I got to focus on them right now because they have been so good to me and so loyal to me that instead of just signing a bunch of new people, I need to really like rock and roll with the people that I rep.
I agree. Yeah. Listen to me. I agree. I'm not being selfish in any way.
But you've been going out though. You've had a couple of good self-tapes.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I honestly cannot complain during this COVID. I mean, thank God for the Actors Mark. It has been a godsend for me. It's really allowed me to get my bearings with that and really focus on it the last few months.
Good.
And be able to reach out to some of the people like backstage and all these different platforms that I've been wanting to make relationships with, but I just haven't had the time. It really offered me that opportunity, which was fantastic. You're super supportive.
Yeah, and you're right when you said that you were on autopilot before, and now it's like it's reteaching our brains. You're totally right. I did the same thing with casting directors because I was on autopilot with the casting directors that I already knew, and then I took this time to either rekindle relationships or make new friendships. I've been making personal friendships.
That's so awesome.
You want to know what's interesting is I made a personal friendship with a casting director on Instagram about our vacations, and I have booked 2 jobs with him since then.
What?
Yeah.
But see, that's the way it is. It's like, but that's the way it is in the whole industry. And
it really is.
People don't, I tell people all the time, all my students, I'm like, you're not going in there to book the job. You're going in there to book the room, to book the person's, the relationship with that person. If you don't get the job, that's okay.
Right.
Go in there wanting to get to know them, know what they've done before, know their work, and comment on something that they did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I did the same thing as an agent. I literally saw this commercial casting director on a trip. I commented, I started up a conversation. Like, I have to do that too, just like actors. And so, and that's what I've been actually, I've been taking this time too, to make better, stronger relationships with casting directors. And it's been going really well because I'm not a quitter, and I I want to get back out there.
Of course, and the industry, it's always going to be here. It's just we have to change with the times. As the times are flowing, we have to go with that and trust that as long as we're staying present.
It's a big pivot.
I know it's a huge pivot, especially financially. The pivot has been. The stuff coming out and the rates are just, and I'm not even talking commercial, I'm talking theatrical. The rates are terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I used to have this theory of if it's like not under 2,000, I won't submit. Now, if it's 1,000, I'll submit on it. But
it's like now you're like,
if it's 500, I'm sorry, I'm still not going to submit, even though there's slim pickings. I'm also know our worth.
Well, answer too, because there's more reasons than just, it's just a low rate. Talk about how you determine how you submit your clients for what, because aren't there like conflicts involved and all that stuff? Because I tell actors all the time, be careful when you do self-submissions for commercials on like casting networks and stuff. So
right.
For a minute.
Yeah. I'm really hesitant about actors self-submitting on commercials that are posted online because odds are they're non-union, and odds are they want global use in perpetuity, and people don't know to not do that, and it's a red flag.
Some people don't even know what in perpetuity is. Can you explain this?
Forever in perpetuity. Forever. So let's say you do this was years ago. One of my actors did a chic shaving thing. It was like $500. It was in perpetuity, global, whatever. 10 years later, it's on like a billboard, and he reaches out, and I didn't rep him then. And he reaches out to me and is like, you got to get him to take this down. And I'm like, okay, calm down. Find me the contract. I will totally fight this and I will win this for you. He hands me the contract and it's like in perpetuity and his name signed. I'm like, oh, that was like a stock photo. That was like,
dude, you just screwed yourself.
you totally screwed yourself. And in this business, writing, anything in writing is a very important thing. There's no he said, she said. If it's not in writing, if it's in writing, I mean, that's like normal life, right? I mean, that's a contract. That's what contracts are for.
Yeah.
And so if it's in writing and you have it,
So with that being said, like when actors are just starting out, so say there's an actor that's just starting out and they want to get into commercials and all that, and they don't have an agent yet, so they want to self-submit. Is that a good thing for them to do? Should they be self-submitting, or should they actually just focus on getting a commercial agent?
I think they can self-submit on jobs as long as they're smart about looking for the terms. As long as they know if it is, let's say it pays $500 and it's internet only and there's no conflict and it's for a year, do it. It adds to your resume.
Right.
So, the business side of this career is honestly, you think it's 50% talent and 50% business, but it's actually not, unfortunately. And I've seen a lot of I've seen, not my actors, obviously, but I've seen actors that are not the most talented people, but have the business savvy mind, and they are rocking it, and they are going out and they are booking. And then I have super, super talented people. I don't, but you see super, super talented people that don't have the business side of it. And it's so frustrating. And I feel bad. And this business, you just really have to know the show business side of it.
Exactly. So what could you say with this opportunity right now to all of your actors that are watching, right? Because it's so hard to reach out to all actors and get them to read the emails or to, and I know that. I'm sure that's so frustrating on your part. Not me. I read all your emails. But but for the actors that are, like saying to you, I want to work, Stephany, but yet they're not doing what they should. What can they do to help you?
The one thing I do in my job, I believe, is give clear direction. That is something when I was an actor, I was not given.
Okay.
I had agents that never gave me the tools or the clear direction. Mm-hmm. So what I do is give them clear direction. I tell people if it's headshots, if it's classes, if it's social media presence, if it's creating content, if it's making videos of your special skills. I have been very, very clear with people about what they can do. Mm-hmm. And some people choose to do it and some people don't. And if they don't, I kind of lose interest.
Right.
And I think to myself, didn't we talk about headshots like a year ago? Right. Now, if they don't care, then I don't care. Because if they're not getting auditions because they have old headshots and I told them to get new ones and they didn't get them and they don't care and they're not bugging me, it is what it is. I'm going to just keep trying.
My headshots are terribly old.
Well, you and I are going to have a conversation after this.
I know you've been reaching and back then it was a total financial issue, and it was like no time, no this, didn't want to put the energy into, getting myself ready by eating right and all that. But now I've had 5 months to do it. So I'm feeling like I can do it.
Well, not only that, but also there's a lot of photographers right now, I'll be completely honest with you, that are offering very good deals. And in fact, some are saying, I'll do a freebie session, like good photographers.
Right. That
are saying, we know, you guys are going, your clients are going through hardships. I've had quite a few actually reach out to me.
I want to talk to you after about that for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to do my entire roster, but they're like, tell me a few people that that need new headshots, but are struggling financially. And I want to hook you up because you've been good to me.
It's also this whole quarantine has brought out that like giveness,
Forgiveness.
the giveness in people. People are
Yeah.
giving. People are willing to like go, you know what, let me help the community, let me help you. Yeah, like even just, this is our time, this is not, we're not getting paid to do this. This is our time
No,
to be
no.
able to reach out to people.
And
So-
most headshots are like from 2018, honestly. And then
Yeah.
2019, and then 2020, nobody got new headshots that I can think of.
2020, like, can we just wipe 2020 out the paper? Just
Wipe it out.
And, so with that, headshots, there's a huge question that I wanted to ask you, and it kind of has a bunch of different smaller questions in it. How do you like, well, let's just start with this. How do you like actors to submit to you? Like, what
New
is
actors?
the best way? Yeah.
Email with their headshot, resume, reel,
Okay.
their website, nothing I have to download. Nothing
Did you hear that, people? Do you know every single time I do a live class, I tell my students and clients the exact same thing. Nobody wants to download anything. So don't even send it, or your email is going to go right in the trash.
And I want your headshot in the body of the email.
Okay.
And then
Like
your
a thumbnail?
like a little thumbnail. Like if I put together a pitch package for a casting director, let's say they say, send me your best females for this infomercial.
Right.
What I'll do is I'll do little thumbnails of your headshot, and then I'll do a hyperlink that they can click on with your name that goes right to your resume.
Okay.
So this is where we're going to have the conversation about people need to learn technology right now. I know that's like and I'm included. We need to learn technology right now. So figure it out.
Or at least just the technology that is in reference to your business.
Right. So this could be just talking about new clients getting rep, but when we do get into the conversation about self-tapes and technology, I have a thing about that right now.
Okay. Well, let's save that because we're going to get
We'll
into
save that.
So you like email over mailing?
Well, I'm working from home.
Yeah, I was just going to say, obviously, mailing you guys through the post office right now is not a good thing because nobody's even at the office.
No, in fact, I've been working from home since March 14th. I was going to go back July 10th, and basically our building, you couldn't go back to our building. Craig, the owner, was the only one going back in a hazmat suit to get the mail. So our actors were still getting their paychecks.
Oh, geez.
It's gotten a little bit better now. So our assistant Adele has been going in 2 to 3 times a week just to get the mail, gloves, masks, So
Adele, shout out to Adele.
Is she here?
Oh my God, I haven't had to talk to Adele.
I don't know, but she's not opening any mail that isn't somebody's paycheck. So it's, everything right now is email, and there has been no date set for us back in the office. So I've made myself an office here.
Yeah.
And
Are
I
you
actually
happy doing that?
I'm sorry?
Are you happy doing that?
It's actually, well, the first 3 months I was working on my laptop, my MacBook, I was working on, thinking we were going to be back in the office in July. And it's not the best thing to work on my MacBook, but it's doable. Once July hit and we were like, oh God, we're not going back. It's going to be a while. I was able to go into the office, and I took everything in my office and set it up at my house. So now I have everything that was at my office in my living room.
Oh, that's nice. In your living room. Uh-oh.
Right. Well, because this is my husband's office. I'm using my husband's office right now.
Yeah, because he does VO, doesn't he?
He does voiceover. So,
Yeah.
not in this room if I sound echoey. It's in a better space, but
Right.
I didn't want to go in a closet.
Yeah. I know, but that's what they have to do.
Yeah.
We're echoey here too.
Yeah, and I yell at, I feel bad. I tell these actors, have good lighting, have good sound, and then I have like crappy lighting and sound.
Well, you don't now. You look gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
But I know it's tough sometimes. Right now too, I think a lot of people are being forgiving on some of those things.
Yes.
But so when you say to somebody, okay, so somebody submits to you with emails, you prefer that they give you a thumbnail headshot with a link to websites, resumes, any online profiles,
Yep.
and the reel. Now, what if they don't have a reel? And is a reel, you talking about a theatrical reel, or are you talking about a commercial reel?
Anything. I just need to see their ability. In fact, there was a couple people that I did sign, but I saw them in a show that didn't have reels. So I'm not going to sign you if you don't have a reel and I didn't see you in a show and you didn't do a cold read for me. You have to do something. I'm an actor's agent and I can't sign you if I don't know your ability.
True. No, it's just very true. But what if they send you like a self-tape of, because I've told some actors that right now, or, you know, they're ready. They're like, I've been training, I'm ready now to get an agent, but I don't have materials. I tell them, do a really good scene and self-tape it like an audition. Is that sufficient for you to see?
Now, yes.
Okay.
Before, no.
Okay.
And especially with singing, that was a big thing too, because we would represent a lot of people on national tours and Broadway, and they would send us their singing, you know, them doing a live show of them singing if we can't go to their show.
Right.
So, you know.
Okay. So, well, that's good to know. So at least they can get in front of you guys.
Right. But again, like I said, they can do a self-tape of a commercial read and send it to me. But I'm a person that feeds off of energy and vibes.
Yeah, I know.
And if I can't feel your energy, I struggle with our relationship. So just an online relationship might still be tough for me to sign you.
And talk about that for a minute, because people don't realize that that's very important when you're signing with an agency of your caliber, okay? Because there's a lot of tiny agencies out there that are, not to say they're bad, they're just really boutique, and they're not getting the opportunities that an agency like Avalon Artists would get, because you guys have been here for a really long time. Craig has, brought in everybody that's super relevant in the industry and have been working in the industry for a long time. So as, to be his agents. So how?
Well, Craig came from New York, and he's been open for 15 years. And just to be a talent agency that's been open 15 years in LA is a success.
It's total success.
Yeah.
And to be, so what was my question?
I don't know.
This is what happens when you turn 50.
I know. I feel it. I
just turned 50 this year, and I'm like, wait,
oh my God.
What did I just say?
And what was it before March?
No, I had my girlfriend that I'm staying with had me a COVID Zoom party for me.
Okay, so when we all are back to normal again in 2021, 2022, we gonna throw you a party.
No shit, girl. Look, can I swear? I mean, no kidding, because it was the big one, and I want to have a dance party.
I know, that's not fair. I get it.
Totally
and people
not fair.
Celebrating birthdays. I celebrated my 10-year anniversary. I've had, I've actually had a death. My uncle passed away. You can't have a funeral.
Oh my God, what?
That's what I'm saying. 2020, let's erase. And then 2021, 2022, we're going to throw parties for everybody that didn't get to. So we'll throw you a party.
We're going to pack it out. And everybody's going to be shoulder to shoulder.
Yes, I know. Masks.
So I know, with masks.
Here's an interesting one. This is what I want to ask a casting director this, because masks are not going away, obviously. I've had a few actors send me new headshots with masks on.
What? Do they want that?
I don't know. And what's interesting is it's like you're seeing just their eyes and what they would look like. But when they're on camera, they're not. So my guess is they were just doing that kind of as fun shoots when they started the session. But I'm not choosing them to put on LA casting.
Right. I mean, it's like, do you, I've seen some.
There's been commercials with masks on.
I know. Like
for Amazon.
So should you have a photo in your repertoire?
I don't even know. I guess if you have the money and you're like, F it. but I haven't had a breakdown yet that
Right.
says, please show me a photo what they look like in a mask.
Okay, good. Good. So what do you like for somebody's like profiles? What should one of your actors that you represent give me a kind of a rundown on what should be on their profile as far as their headshots, all the pictures, resumes, skills, all that stuff.
Okay, so my favorite people that tend to get, you know, more opportunities than others are going to have about 6 headshots of different looks and types.
Okay.
They're going to have a few activity type things if there's sports or.
Now, what does that mean? Because there's some people that are just starting out and they don't know what all that means.
If you do yoga, do like a crazy pose. I mean, for me, tree pose is crazy. But some people might, or some people might do the one. What's the one where you put both the hands down and then both your legs go shooting out?
Oh, it's a modified crow.
Yeah, like that. And then if you, let's say if you play sports, don't hold a tennis racket, but I want to see a photo of maybe you in something that you would play golf in or tennis in, and have that outfit and, you know, kind of be waist up, hands on the hips, and you look like you're on a golf course.
Now, is it better to have them actually in the action of doing it for a headshot?
Sure.
Or for a shot? Or
I have a golf guy who is semi-pro, and he has a really great swing shot, like his backhand kind of a thing.
Right.
So, you know, there's no rules anymore. And commercials are so specific these days that just a broad headshot isn't working anymore. Unless you have a million credits and you know everybody. Yeah, you need to have some sort of a niche or something that kind of gets you out, or a look or a type, you know, a stereotype.
Okay. And so what about your like resume? What is something that is an absolute on the resume?
Well, obviously any film or TV credits that are relevant and heard of. If you've been on a show that we've heard of, that's going to be first and foremost. Right. Then your training is going to be a really, really big deal. And then your special skills, you know, the thing that's a bummer about casting networks is that they give you the option of beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But if you pick one, it just shows up on your resume. So unless I do a search for expert, if I just look you up and it says surfing, I don't know how amazing you are at surfing. So here's what you do. At the bottom, under other experience, that's where you brag. Tell me about medals you've won, awards you've won, that you paddleboard every day with your dog on your paddleboard, or, you know, you are a real baker. Today, I got a breakdown today. I need people that are amazing bakers. So how would I know that?
My partner's an amazing baker.
Oh my God.
So
it's
like
on a
those
breakdown.
Crazy cakes.
So tell your partner, it's a breakdown to tell their agent to raise their hand. So this is where I utilize Facebook. This is where Facebook comes in handy for my clients, where I put out things that are like, who has a dog, who drives a Honda, things like that. But you have to be quick to the gun, man. You got to be like, like right now, people are actually answering me about the baking thing. And when I get off of this call, I'm going to take all these people and I'm going to submit them and I'm going to hit send, because
so
it's going to get out.
You're talking about, do they have to have like extreme skill in baking, or just somebody that likes to bake?
The breakdown specifically says must be able to seriously bake and is very passionate about it.
Okay. So then that person that is a baker that does that kind of stuff, it would behoove them to have a photo on Casting Networks and Casting Frontier and all the other online profiles of them baking something, correct?
Or I have a few actors, like I have a girl, she gets great auditions. I don't know if Diane, if you're on here, always gets to get an audition for real, like if it says like real chefs, real cooks, you know, she actually has a picture in a white chef's coat. Some agents are for this, some agents are against this. I personally, she gets an audition ticket every time there's a breakdown for a chef.
And why do you think that is?
I think that there's a lot of rush. I think there's not a lot of time for the casting directors to really analyze, and sometimes they'll pick half the people that they know, and then they'll pick half the people that just fit that type immediately.
Right.
And I mean, they're going to read resumes, but it's just a quick thing. You know, Army, if you're in the military, if you have a military photo, that's a great one. Yeah. I mean, you could get
So
away with
whatever you're really, really good at,
yeah,
you should have photos and video.
Yeah. And if theatrically you go out for a cop all the time, you don't have to wear a cop outfit, but wear something very business, very, what's the word? Yes. And then pull your hair back. Don't wear a lot of makeup. Have a serious look on your face.
Yeah.
You know, it's matching your, yeah.
So they can be imaginative and say, oh, if she's got a black, you know, t-shirt on, her hair's pulled back with a black pair of pants and a belt, you could see she could be a detective, she could be a cop, she could be some type of badass.
But only if that's your vibe. I've seen people try to do that, and that's not who they are.
That is so important.
Your essence.
So right.
Your essence is everything. And so when people say, well, what headshots should I get? What look should I get? That's on you. You tell me. I can't be like cop, baker, you know, secretary.
This is what, because I do a lot of goal coaching. You know, I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
I work with actors, and I sit down with them and I do an 1.5-hour session where I run through all of their online profiles, and I goal coach them into, who are you trying to be? Who do you want to be? Like, what kind of work do you want to get? Because I always say, the industry isn't going to define you. Mm-mm. You have to define yourself for the industry, and not be afraid to say, that's not for me. This is the problem. Actors get so fearful. They're like, oh, I can't turn that down. But you can have a conversation with your agent.
Yeah, although right now I wouldn't turn anything down.
No, absolutely not. But I mean, if you're a vegetarian, don't take a Carl's Jr. audition, because it's going to make you, the agent, look bad.
Well, although having said that, I did have a girl who was a vegetarian book at Carl's Jr. and made 30 grand off of it, and just had a spit bucket. But that's you. You tell me.
Okay, so if you're willing
you
to
tell me,
then do it, right?
Right. Or like, again, if I get an audition notice for something like, let's say, Chick-fil-A, it's as an agent, I submit, right?
Right.
But if you get the audition notice and you say, you know, that's against my beliefs, I can't force you to go out for it.
No, but does that hurt them in your eyes?
No. If they do that for every single product,
then you're like, okay.
If they find a reason to pass on everything, or ask for a time change on everything, or for a later thing on everything, if there's always something and it's not just like, I'm on it, all I want to hear is I'm on it. If I don't hear I'm on it and I get this email, my face just drops, and I now go, okay, now they just took it off of them and put it back on me.
Right, and you were like, and I got to write that off my list, and now it bounced back.
Right, meaning, and I worked hard for that. I got you that audition. That my job is over. I got you the audition. I mean, not my job is over. My job is over for now.
Right, for now.
And then you go do your thing, and then I negotiate the booking. But if I get you with the audition, and then you're trying to change things, you're giving me more work again now that I'm trying. And I think actors also don't realize that, how do I say this in a nice way? Sometimes I'll have a lot of auditions, and actors oftentimes think they're the only one that got an audition. I mean, sometimes they are the only one. Right. But sometimes I'll get 10 auditions for somebody. And a big thing right now for me, going back to the technology thing, is people super stressed out, giving me their self-tape at the 11th hour and saying, I can't submit this. It isn't working. I don't know how to do it. Can you please submit this for me? I get that actually pretty quite often right now. And so you just took the stress off of you and put it onto me.
Yeah.
And I almost, and I might be in the middle of something else.
How is it working for you, but it's not working for them?
And if they say, can you submit this for me, but it's due right now, I could be totally involved in a negotiation that is totally like not even relevant that I'm in the middle of. And so my suggestion for that is work on your technology skills before you get the audition, so you don't have to freak out at the 11th hour. And I personally know what it's like because my daughter is auditioning. I'm learning it too. We transfer Dropbox, self-tapes, ring lights, backdrops. I'm doing it all myself for my family. And I get it. I've been in this stress situation too.
Right.
But
But you're either going to go with the flow or you got to get off the boat.
yeah, I can't help people sometimes. And they want me to do it for them. And I can't hold their hand the whole way right now. This technology thing is, it's stressing everybody out.
If you want to maximize your potential ability to get out and to create a stronger relationship with your actors or with your agents, it is very strongly suggested from a very, very influential agent in this commercial industry to get a handle and educate yourself on how you need to deliver your self-tapes, on how to film your self-tapes. Make sure you read all the information in your breakdowns when you're giving your audition. Make sure to check in with your agent if she's asking you for something specific, and make sure that you do all that stuff. I just want to reiterate that to them.
Yeah, and my actors on here who are on right now, do a test run. I'm okay with that. Do a test self-tape, send it to me, and see if I can open it on a random day where we're not in a hurry and we're not rushed, where you don't need an answer right away. And
if worst comes to worst, do it on your phone and just send it in.
Well, but you can't. So you can't self-tape on your phone 3 minutes and email it to me.
No, you can't.
And a lot of actors don't know that. I mean, we're literally starting at square one.
Oh.
There's a lot of actors out there that never self-taped before.
Okay.
Or they would go somewhere and pay for it. That's what we used to do. I would always go and pay to get my family self-tape with coaching. And now I don't have that, and I'm figuring it out myself too. But I'm doing it and I'm figuring it out.
I can coach your kids.
Okay. Well, so one thing that
all the time.
Well, one thing that's really important for actors to know right now is if you send something via Dropbox,
right,
don't send it by just hitting the share button and emailing it to me to forward to casting, because sometimes they have to download it. And again, nobody wants to download anything.
Right. Nobody has time.
Nobody wants to download anything.
The wherewithal in their computers.
So they can skip it. They can miss it. You took all this time and energy and they never even opened it. Now, fortunately, I've had casting directors thankfully go, Steph, send it to me where I don't have to download. And again, I'm an agent that does in-person auditions. I'm not used to self-tapes. So I had to learn. It was a learning curve for me too. Yeah. And I said, I don't get it. Like, how are you not able to open it? And this casting director's like, send it to me like this. And it was like, so you actually, there's a button at the bottom of your Dropbox where you can share it without downloading it. I've been finding WeTransfer better lately.
You can also do unlisted on YouTube.
Yes, you could do, Vimeo, YouTube.
YouTube.
But they're all very specific. Each casting director says, send it to me this way.
Right.
Now, I wish LA Casting had EcoCast where you guys can all upload it and then I can watch it, or you send it to me and I upload it that way. It's so much easier. This whole system right now is a shit show on LA Casting, with sending it to their emails, WeTransfer, Dropbox, Vimeo, YouTube. It's all over the place, and we're just trying to pivot with them.
I actually have next week. I have a session booked with somebody at LA Casting, at Casting Networks, to do an interview with their people.
Yeah.
Post on their social media. So I'll address that and see what they say. And just
Well, they do have a self-tape option.
But they have to change some of their platform, because you're right, it's outdated.
LA casting networks. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They need a self tape. They do actually. That's not true. They do have an option where I can upload media.
Oh.
But it is the way that you send it, and on my computer at work, it won't let me. It has restrictions on it. And I don't know if it's on the casting network side and the LA casting side, but before COVID, I never needed to use this button. And so now I have to do a little bit of learning with LA casting, but casting is not asking me to upload it to casting networks. Usually it's a WeTransfer type thing.
Wow.
It's all over the place right now. And so I want people to all follow along with me, learn with me, and
we
be
have
patient.
like 8 minutes up. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay, should we do
No,
questions?
it's like, I wish this didn't shut off, but it shuts off at an hour because this is such amazing stuff that people need to know. And it's good for even, you know, your clients to just kind of get a refresher where you're not having to reach out to one person at a time. That's the great thing about social media is, you know, everybody can go on, and we're going to have this on our IG TV channel.
Cool. Oh, good.
And you can share it to yours too, I think.
Okay.
So that way, you know, actors can go on as they want, and they can just say, hey, you know, what's going on with the industry?
I just need everybody to breathe and be patient and don't stress about the self tapes. I mean, we want it to look good, but casting's being very patient and being pretty, you know, forgiving. But also don't send something at the 11th hour. Try really hard.
If we get cut off, just come right back on.
Yeah. Okay.
If we get cut off here, just come right back on, and I'll bring you back on because I feel like we're going to go over a few because there's something I want to talk about the self tape for a second.
Okay.
So self taping for commercials, and I know because I've had some doozies in the last couple where I've had to swim and backstroke and side stroke. And
oh my gosh, let me tell you, they are making us make movies right now.
Of course.
I had one for I'm telling you, casting directors are like, so I had one for my kids and my husband, and they wanted 4 scenes, getting in and out of a car, in our kitchen, in the living room, pretending to watch a game, and then, you know, obviously the slates, the body shot, and then I have to edit it all together, and I'm using my iPhone, and then I'm using Video Shop to edit it, and then I'm using my MacBook to airdrop it, and I mean, it's like I'm doing it too, but the casting is asking for
a lot. And so
okay,
I'm so glad that you said that and not me, because I love casting. You know me, I have really great relationships with my casting directors, and I adore them all, and some more than others, but
I'm just not going to say no.
I know, and I don't want to say no either, but it's a lot. Some of it's a lot. And when you're an actor that is, you know, working maybe another job, or which most actors are, or you're a theatrical actor as well, and you've got all those self-tapes going on, how do you streamline what they're asking you to do so that you don't feel overwhelmed like you have to make this beautiful, perfect thing?
You know, honestly, all I want to hear and do is I'm on it, I got it, and I'm doing it. And it's a lot, but it is what it is. And there are people that are willing to drop everything and go film it. And sometimes it's not perfect. And you know what? Sometimes the non-perfect take is the one that casting likes.
Yeah.
You know, if you
you can just do your best.
Just do your best.
Are there
Don't
any
overthink
absolute no's when it comes to self-taping that you know of?
Are there any what?
Absolute no's. Like that you've heard casting directors over and over again, and you tell your actors, do not do this.
Well, I mean, they all want, you know, the close-up shot. They want the good lighting. They want the good sound. They want a body shot. You know, obviously they all want it shot like this, not like we're on Instagram right now, vertical,
right?
horizontal.
It has to be horizontal.
They want it to be horizontal, and that's probably the biggest thing I would say is do not do vertical self tapes.
Yeah.
and they do want to see your house right now. They do want to see who you're living with. They do want to utilize, I mean, let's be honest, right now, 90% of my bookings are real families, real couples, real roommates, real friends. Those are all the breakdowns right now. It's all real.
Did you see, I put a picture up with my girlfriend.
Did I see it? Oh, I did see it. I did see it.
That's actually my business partner and my best friend. So we've been quarantining together.
Yeah, it's what they want right now. That they're wanting people that mother and son. I did get a breakdown yesterday for the first time, actually, that said looking for somebody willing to be in close proximity with another actor without a mask. That was the first time I saw that, was yesterday. Otherwise, it is only people that are quarantining together.
And you see that starting to shift right now? Is that going to?
It was the first one I saw. First one I saw.
Well, hopefully it'll. I mean, I don't even know what to think about that, but
no,
at some point we're going to have to get back to some normalcy somewhere, sometime, and be as safe as we can within the confines of what we're doing.
Well, one thing I know is self-tapes are not going away. They are doing in-person auditions. Some casting directors are doing in-person, but not very, very few. And they're doing waiting where you wait in your car and you get a text and then you go in, and they're only bringing in half the people that they would normally call in. They're doing Zoom auditions, which again, here's another moment to be patient. Oftentimes casting directors are just trying to figure it out themselves and they're way behind. And I've had casting directors not give the Zoom info for the audition until the time of their audition. And
I had that happen.
Panicking, total panic. And then right at the audition time, they get the Zoom thing and it's all fine. Or I've had people in Zoom waiting rooms for an hour. Everybody is figuring this all out and we're all learning. And it's either Zoom,
be patient.
It's Zoom, it's self-tape, and it's in person. So learn how to self-tape, learn Zoom, or be willing to go in person, knowing it's very COVID safe with waiting outside, going in one at a time. Oh my God, Suzanne, I just saw your thing. Girl,
we have a couple questions too, but
I know. Okay,
I think we're going to get cut off. So this is what I want to do. Hold on, I want to take a picture.
But you're not alone.
Oh, you got the questions? Okay. So it is going to shut off in 1 minute. And when it does, just go right back on. And for all of you actors that are watching, just go right back on. And we're just going to go over a few minutes because there's a couple questions that are really good that people have.
And I want to tell everybody too that they're really not shooting in LA right now. So I want to talk about that too.
Okay. Okay. So one person has a question. Do you work with international actors?
Are they living in the US? No.
I don't know.
No. I mean,
I've had that question sent to me from actors outside the country. How can I get representation in the US? And I always tell them, only if you have a visa.
Right. And there are some managers that will pay, because you have to pay to get a visa, right? And there are some managers that will pay to get your visa. Avalon does not do that.
Okay.
So
what do you mean? So you can pay a manager?
No. The manager, if they love you enough and want to sign you, I've had managers pay for their visa.
Right. Or they'll sign off on it and be the person to sponsor them. But you guys do not do that. Okay. So just for you international actors out there that are watching, yes, you can work in the country and they will sign international actors, but only if you have a visa to work here and only if you're already here.
And I do.
They're not going to sponsor you and bring you over.
No, I do actually rep a lot of people, from other countries, but they live here and have a visa and are working here. I have nothing to do with that. You have to be here. I mean, it was always in-person auditions. So
yeah, exactly. So somebody says, somebody has a question. Where is it? Is the criteria different for national commercials as opposed to local commercials?
What do you mean by criteria? Like for the self-tape?
No, that's from Crystal Kerr. I don't know what she means, but like, I guess, is it, well, obviously it's different because the terms are different.
Right. Do you mean the terms or do you mean?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, because of course it's all going to be different. A SAG National Network commercial is going to be very different than your, non-union local restaurant,
Right, right, right. I don't know. I guess we'll have to oh, I don't know. I don't know what she means by that. Somebody else, say I book a commercial, but I only have a theatrical agent. We shoot in 4 days and I haven't gotten a contract. What do I need to know to protect myself?
Does
Get a
there,
commercial agent.
no, right, no. Does the first question I would